what is needed to become great. Imagine that you are not just dreaming of greatness, but already living it. Imagine Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled by great power, but faced with difficulties, like any of us. His story is not just an ancient story, it is a mirror reflecting our own battles. Aurelius was not born wise or brave. He fought to develop these qualities among the chaos of life. Just like you and I, every day, we are talking about true greatness, not about the one you are born with, but about the one you build step by step, boldly. So, how did Mark do it? Through Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches the art of control not over others, but over oneself. Today, we dive not only into his life, but also into how you can apply these eternal lessons to overcome your own problems. Are you ready to explore how these ancient principles can strengthen you here and now to reveal the greatness that belongs only to you? 1. The desire for perfection. Marcus Aurelius' name, which became a synonym of wisdom and strength, was not born a sample of Stoic virtues. His greatness was daily labor, an unending desire for perfection. Here is a lesson for us. To be great is not a gift, it is a choice. Every morning when the sun rises behind your window, you are standing on the crossroads. You can return to a comfortable bed or get up with a goal. Choose the second. This is what Mark did, and here your path to perfection begins. Now, how to apply it in our lives? You don't have to climb mountains every day in small choices. Prefer to listen more and speak less. Choose patience instead of irritation in traffic jams, or decide to focus on your task. They are lost in the endless scrolling of social networks. These choices may seem insignificant, but they accumulate. Like Mark, we do not become great with one giant leap. These are small, continuous steps that cut out our way to perfection. Embrace this path, realizing that every day is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. This search is not easy, but remember the reward. This is a life lived with purpose and inner strength, very similar to the Stoic emperor, which inspires us even after centuries. 2. Daily thinking. Accepting the habits of daily thinking is like holding a mirror against your inner world, revealing truths and ideas that are often left unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. It's not just a record of the day's events. It's a journey deep inside yourself, a quiet conversation with yourself. Imagine how you end every day, retreating back and looking into your experiences, thoughts, and emotions. It is not only about the retelling of what happened, but also about immersion in yourself, asking questions about why you reacted in a certain way, what caused these emotions, and how your actions correspond to your main values. It is about finding patterns in your behavior, understanding your irritants, and acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses. This daily practice transforms not only your consciousness, but also your being, gradually directing you to a more meaningful and thoughtful approach to life. This simple but deep custom is available to everyone. It does not require special tools or conditions, only several calm moments of self-analysis, be it before bed or in the early morning. Find a moment that suits you. It is not about writing a literary masterpiece, but about being honest and open to yourself. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity and ability to transform over time. You will notice changes, a great clarity in your thoughts and actions, a stronger correspondence with your values, and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Thinking about every day, you don't just survive in life, you master the art of living. 3. Accept people as they are. Life presents us with many characters, each of which plays its unique role in a huge drama of existence. Marcus Aurelius, the master of the Stoic thought, recognized this and chose acceptance instead of disappointment. This is a change of thinking from which we, in our modern and turbulent world, can benefit greatly. When you meet someone who annoys you, pause instead of reacting with irritation or anger, and consider this person as an important part of the diversity of human experience. It's like a puzzle. Each detail has its place, even those that seem not in their place at first glance. This acceptance does not mean that you agree or approve of their behavior. It just means that you recognize their role in a wider pattern of life. This approach has a subtle power. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of judgments and irritations. Imagine how much mental space and energy you could have returned if you had stopped fighting every complex character you come across. By accepting others as they are, you do not support their actions. You allow yourself to remain internally calm. Regardless of external circumstances, this does not mean passivity. In fact, it is an active choice to prioritize inner peace regardless of external circumstances. It does not mean passivity. It is actually an active choice to prioritize inner peace over external conflicts. Remember that each person, including yourself, plays many roles, and just as you may struggle with someone else's behavior, someone else may find your actions challenging. This mutual recognition fosters empathy and patience. It is a powerful reminder that we are all floating together in this complex world, each with our own idiosyncrasies and idiosyncrasies. Accepting this diversity of characters not only makes you more patient, but also enriches your understanding of the human condition. This habit, deeply rooted in Stoicism, is a timeless tool for personal growth and peace in our ever-changing world. 4. Refrain from complaining. If complaining gets in the way, imagine being stuck in traffic, running late for a meeting, and your phone won't stop ringing. It's easy to start a series of complaints, isn't it? But here's the approach of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor. He taught that complaining, even in your personal life, gets you nowhere. It's like yelling for the rain to stop. It won't change the weather. It will only add to the noise. So the next habit we need to develop is to catch ourselves in the fact that we are going to complain. This is not about suppressing feelings, but channeling them constructively. Instead of complaining about traffic, use that time to listen to a podcast or plan your day, turning moments of frustration into opportunities for growth. Now, it's important to understand the difference between complaining and taking action. Talking about change is not about complaining. It's about being proactive if something is wrong, working towards a solution and not getting stuck in the problem. Marcus Aurelius believed in confronting problems directly, not just daring to express dissatisfaction. So when you feel discontent, ask yourself, what can I do about it? This change of mindset forces you to reflect. You go from being a spectator of your life to being a director. The truth is that our relationships shape our experiences. A day filled with complaining feels heavier and more tiring. On the other hand, a day spent solving problems seems more enjoyable and productive. It's all about making conscious choices. This simple but profound change can change not only your day, but your entire approach to life. Take this habit and observe how it changes the way you interact with the world. You'll become calmer, more centered, and ready to face challenges with a clear mind. 5. Focus on what really matters. Visualize your life as a room full of objects that represent your daily tasks, desires, and distractions. Now let's take a little inspiration from Marcus Aurelius and apply his wisdom to today's clutter. The next step on the path to greatness is pretty simple. Clear that room, but how? By focusing on what's most important, think about your typical day and how much of what you do is really important in the bigger picture of your life. We often find ourselves overwhelmed by tasks and commitments that, frankly, don't do much good. They are like jewelry that gathers dust on our shelves. It's time to be ruthless and ask, Does it really matter every time you're about to take on something new? This isn't about being cold or insensitive. It's about respecting your time and energy. But here's the real trick. Once you start getting rid of unnecessary things, you'll notice something incredible. Your ability to focus and succeed at what really matters increases. You are no longer a person without skills. You are a focused person working hard at your art, whatever it may be. And in this age of constant distractions, that kind of focus isn't just valuable, it's a superpower. By doing less, you don't get lazy. You strategically choose where to put your energy to maximize your impact. Remember that every no to something unimportant is a yes to something really important. Let's make that choice. If you like this philosophy, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We have many truths to work through. 6. Practice gratitude and kindness. The art of practicing gratitude and kindness is like adding bright colors to a canvas that keeps painting life in shades of gray reality. It's about recognizing even in the most difficult moments there is something to be grateful for. It's easy to be grateful when things are going well. The real challenge is to find reasons to be grateful in difficult moments. It's a habit of not ignoring the harsh realities of life, but finding a ray of hope, no matter how dim, starting with gratitude. By adopting education as a lifestyle, you not only enrich your mind, but also cultivate the humility that keeps you on earth. Remember that in the pursuit of knowledge, every step forward is a step toward becoming a better version of yourself. Let us, like Mark, remain hungry for knowledge throughout our lives, always seeking to explore the uncharted territories of knowledge and understanding. 8. Forgive ourselves and others. Accepting forgiveness toward both yourself and others is not just a nice gesture. It is a major habit that can take your life to a new level that reflects the greatness of Marcus Aurelius. Let's recognize that today's life is a puzzle of attitudes, decisions, and actions. Sometimes the pieces fit together perfectly. Other times they have to be inserted where they don't fit. When we make mistakes or when others disappoint us, this is where the power of forgiveness transforms our story. Imagine the following. You are late for an important meeting because you overslept. You could have spent the old day judging yourself, but the new you, inspired by Stoicism, recognizes the mistake, learns from it, perhaps sets 2 alarm clocks for next time, and moves on. This is forgiveness in action. Removing the weight of guilt that often drags us down. It's about being as kind to yourself as you would be to a good friend in the same situation. It's easy to hold on to anger and resentment, but what does that really accomplish? Like Marcus Aurelius, who saw the potential for forgiveness even in betrayal, we can choose to let go of these negative emotions. This doesn't mean that you approve of what happened or forget about it. It means that you release the burden of bitterness. It's like leaving a heavy backpack behind. Suddenly you become more agile and ready to face what comes next with a clear mind and a lightened heart. This habit of forgiveness isn't just about greatness, it's about living life in a more peaceful and meaningful way. 9. Putting your ideals into action. Marcus Aurelius demonstrated the powerful truth that great ideas should be lived, not just considered. So what does this mean for us in today's fast-paced and complex world? It is about making actions speak louder. It's easy to talk about kindness, honesty, or hard work. But Mark taught us that the real challenge is to do these things consistently and sincerely in our daily lives. Why do some men attract women's attention without making any effort, while others try their best, but to no avail? The secret lies in the presence of those traits that women find attractive. Many believe that to attract women's interest, it is enough to show kindness. However, rethinking this, it turns out that such a method can bring more disappointment than success. Other men even condemn women for their choices or are perplexed as to why they favor men who are inattentive to them. But it's important to remember that this is no joke. According to evolutionary motives, they are naturally inclined towards determined, confident men. Feeling hopeless is a significant disadvantage. It's better to focus on developing the traits that make you attractive and confident. In this material, we will consider the aspects that a man should pay attention to in relationships with women. Let's start with the first one: resilience in the face of challenges. This principle positively affects the attractiveness of a man in the eyes of a woman. Stoics say that by mastering your inner world, you acquire the key to well-being. A man who is able to show firmness of character in difficult circumstances is able to provide serious support to his beloved. Providing support, he will respond to life's challenges with intelligence, which can be considered a sign of maturity. Do not change your essence in an effort to conform to someone else's way of life. Be heartfelt and consistent in your goals. Maintaining your uniqueness is essential, regardless of external pressure or judgment. Perseverance and steadfastness of character is evident in the words of Marcus Aurelius. People have no power over you except the power you allow them. It reminds us that our inner state and the decision of how to respond to external circumstances is under our control. Philosophers have urged us to accept difficulties as an integral part of being. A man who accepts his fate with dignity and remains cool in the face of difficulties can create an atmosphere of wisdom and peace around him, attracting women who are looking for a partner who can withstand life's challenges. The principle of resilience in the face of difficulties allows a man to form an image of a reliable, balanced, and strong companion, which attracts women who are in search of a worthy partner. The second principle is inner concentration. Marcus Aurelius said, "Rule your mind, not external events." Develop inner concentration, the ability to look inside yourself, which will help you create an inner world attractive to others. Your existence should not depend on obligations to other people. You were created to create your own great story, not to copy someone else's. Don't let excessive attention to another person consume your life. Avoid excessive focus on others, as it can wash away the outlines of your future, where your dreams and uniqueness will be subordinated to that person's needs and desires. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic, taught that achieving inner peace leads to harmony with the world around you. When you focus on something else, you lose your essence, becoming a mere reflection, subject to someone else's dictates. Free yourself from other people's influence. Stop being a satellite orbiting someone else's orbit and start radiating light as your own sun, illuminating your own path. Your life should not be an episode in someone else's story. You are the protagonist of your own story. Always remember this, and don't let anyone overshadow your light. Don't let external conditions or the expectations of others suppress your emotional state. It is important to keep your distance, regain control, and be true to your values. Protect your peace and happiness. Don't let someone dominate you. Don't neglect your relationships with your loved ones. Like a tree, every friend and family member is an important branch that supports your growth. Maintain your support system. Value your loved ones, as they are an integral part of your well-being. Don't lose yourself in the expectations of others. Don't give too much of your time to others as if it were infinite. Value the moments invested in relationships and use your time wisely. Use your time wisely in pursuit of a harmonious life. Always remember that you are in complete control of your time and strive for a harmonious life. Always remember that you are in complete control of your time and should not waste it on those who may not recognize its true value. Your time is a precious gift. Use it in a way that reflects your own values and priorities. Stoics teach that the source of our happiness and peace is within us, not in external circumstances. A man who possesses inner peace is able to attract women by his ability to not depend on external conditions to achieve happiness. One day, a young man asked Socrates for advice on whether to marry or not. It is not hard to guess why he chose Socrates, given that Socrates was extremely unsuccessful in married life. His wife Xanthippe was known as one of the most unruly spouses in history. She often made a scene, dominated Socrates, threw objects at him, and once poured tea on him, leaving a lifelong burn. Of course, Socrates knew the answer to that question. Get married. If you are lucky and your wife is good, you will be happy, and if not, you will become a philosopher. Thus, the third ability, the desire for self-education, constant development, and self-improvement. It creates the image of an educated and wise person. By developing your intellect and striving for new knowledge, you become attractive to those who appreciate deep conversations and a broad outlook. A man who pays attention to his inner development and learning is perceived as striving for a better version of himself, which is often attractive to women who value their partner's growth and development. The fourth principle is honesty and openness. Epictetus, the great Stoic, said that vanity and lying are signs of a small mind. Be sincere in your intentions and statements. Being sincere in your desires and intentions creates a foundation for trust, which is extremely important in any relationship. Stoics emphasize the importance of sincerity in all aspects of interaction. A man who demonstrates honesty and openness creates a foundation for trust and intimacy, which is especially valued by women seeking deep and sincere relationships. Don't reveal all aspects of your past, especially those that were difficult. Preserve the unique moments of your history that make you stronger. Share only what you feel is appropriate and don't agree with behaviors that go against your preferences. Agreeing with what you don't like is like putting on a mask, losing your uniqueness. Albert Camus advised that you shouldn't worry too much about being treated as someone you deeply value because it can lead to a loss of self-esteem. It's as if your emotions and feelings have passed you by. Be true to yourself, live by your own rules, and don't let the fear of loneliness dictate your actions. A man who can openly share his feelings and experiences can establish a closer and more supportive relationship, which is attractive to women who desire emotional intimacy. The fifth principle is the management of emotions. Marcus Aurelius said that you should not blindly give in to every feeling. The attraction to a woman can be strong, but the ability to keep cool and logical will help to avoid mistakes caused by emotional attraction. Stoics do not reject emotions, but advise accepting them as a natural part of being human. A man who responds openly and appropriately to his emotions can establish close relationships based on honesty. Philosophers recommend avoiding excessive theatricality in everyday life. A person who does not succumb to excessive emotional overflows or create unnecessary intrigue is perceived as a calm and balanced interlocutor, providing a foundation of emotional stability and deep understanding. 6. Responsibility for one's own life. We construct our perceptions of the world primarily through forming perceptions of our inner world, as Epictetus said. Life is not only about achieving goals, but also about valuing the journey itself and recognizing the effort. From a Stoicist perspective, your choice of values and meaning in life should be in line with your true nature, and your well-being and peace depend on internal, not external conditions or the approval of others. Taking responsibility for your actions and destiny is a manifestation of maturity and attractiveness. A disciple once asked a sage how he could learn to sort out people, who to trust and who to avoid. "I will tell you who you should fear," the sage replied. "Fear the one who seems to you the supreme example of modesty. When you notice that someone is too kind to you, embraces you, and shows excessive attention, fear him most of all." The disciple, surprised, asked for an explanation. because he will betray you first, the sage sighed. The disciple asked, who can be trusted? Those who are open to you and tell you the truth, no matter what happens. These people will be the first to come to your aid. The seventh aspect is the cultivation of virtue. Seneca, the apostle of Stoicism, said that virtue serves a man better than outward beauty. Develop virtues such as compassion, honesty, courage, and reasonableness, which will give you not only attractiveness but also strength of mind. Cultivating virtue according to Stoic principles helps a man not only attract women but also build harmonious relationships. These virtues are the basis of responsibility for one's own actions, and destiny is an indicator of maturity and attractiveness. A disciple once asked a sage how to distinguish between a man who can be trusted and one who cannot. The sage replied that one should avoid someone who appears modest and shows excessive attention. The disciple was surprised and asked for an explanation. Because he is the one who will betray you first, sighed the sage. And who should I trust? Asked the disciple. Those who tell you the truth, whatever it may be, replied the wise man. Such people will be the first to come to your aid. The seventh aspect is the embodiment of virtue. Seneca said that virtue serves a person better than outward attractiveness. Develop such virtues as mercy, honesty, courage, and prudence, which will give you not only adorableness, but also strength of mind. Manifestation of virtues on the Stoic principle contributes not only to attracting partners, but also to building harmonious and respectful relationships. These qualities are the basis for the development of moral strength, improvement of personality, and achievement of mutual understanding in relationships. Restraint in expressing feelings, desires, and needs provides balance and stability. A man who knows how to control his emotions and avoid extremes can give his partner a sense of reliability and confidence in the relationship. Remember that you have the strength and wisdom to make the right decisions, even if they go against the expectations of others. Be authentic, value freedom of choice, and build your unique story based on your own values without sacrificing your integrity for others. Instead, take control of your life by making decisions that reflect your true self. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes with the realization that we are in control of our own thoughts and actions. When you feel outside pressure to conform or spend more time than you are comfortable with, remember that you have the right to choose. You don't have to live by someone else's script. Create your own based on what is truly important to you. You don't have to live by someone else's script. Create your own based on what is really important to you. We live in a world where our smartphones keep us connected 24/7, but the irony is that we've never felt more unappreciated and isolated. It's as if we're shouting into a vast digital void, longing to be heard and valued by those we love. But what happens when our messages go unanswered? When our existence in the lives of others seems more like a convenience than a necessity? In these moments of reflection, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism taught by Marcus Aurelius shines like a beacon. It reminds us that our true value comes from within. But how can we integrate this timeless philosophy into our daily lives to genuinely increase our value in our relationships and interactions with others? This video will guide you through practical strategies consistent with Stoicism, ingenuousness, and manipulation to build relationships that reflect true authenticity and depth. Remember, the company you keep is a reflection of your identity. The essence of the philosophy teaches us to be indispensable, not by being needed, but by being valuable. The first practice is to create a sense of the rarity of your presence. It is a Stoic reminder that we are not an infinite resource. Our time and attention is like gold dust in this age of hustle and bustle. Imagine, you are someone who is always saying yes, always in the service of others. What message does that send? It screams, "I'm always available." And it's not a treasure, it's a convenience store. Now, change the script. Be like a rare book in the library, available but not always in plain sight. Allow people to feel your absence. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about genuinely valuing your time. Marcus Aurelius, a name that has become synonymous with wisdom, alluded to this when he said that you have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this and you will find power. Here he is pushing us to evaluate internally before seeking external approval. This practice requires a delicate balance. It's not about being detached or cold, but about developing a healthy self-esteem. When you answer every call instantly, you're serving the whims of others. But when you're selectively engaged, you're saying, "I respect my time, and you should too." That doesn't mean ignoring people, it means thoughtful engagement. It's about making your yes more powerful by not being afraid to say no. Your presence, your attention should be a gift, not an expectation. Embrace this first practice. See yourself as a rare comet, not just another star in the night sky. Your time and attention are precious. Invest it wisely. When you do, you will notice a change. People will begin to appreciate your presence more because it's not a given, it's a gift. This is how you begin to be more valuable by valuing yourself first. Value your time as a hidden treasure. It's the one thing you can't produce more of. This is the essence of the practice. The second step towards being more valuable through Stoicism is to avoid constant availability. Stoicism isn't about saying no for the sake of saying no. It's about relating your yes to your values. Imagine each day as a canvas. You have a limited amount of paint, which is your time to create the masterpiece that is your life. The time you have is not about selfishness, but about self-worth. When you value your time, others will begin to value it too. They will see that your yes is not given easily, and when it is given, it is a sign of true commitment and respect. This is the practice of balance. It's not about building walls, it's about setting boundaries. Think of these boundaries as the banks of a river that direct the flow of your time and energy, keeping it focused on what is truly important. By not always being available, you teach others to appreciate the moments they spend with you. You become a rare book in the library, sought after and appreciated. Your presence becomes a gift rather than an expectation. In this way, you live true to the Stoic ideal of owning yourself by owning your time. Think of your time as a gem sparkling in your hands. Every moment you give to others is like you are giving away a piece of that gem. If you give these pieces away to everyone who asks, soon you will have nothing left for yourself. This is not to become a hermit, but to become selective, investing our time where it really matters, continuing our journey to become more valuable and prioritized by others. Let us now turn to the third point, maintaining a sense of mystery in the world around us. Mystery weaves its web in silence, much like a spider that makes its art unnoticed. In the context of being valued, embracing this silent art of mystery is a practice not only of limitation but also of empowering seduction. Stoicism, a philosophy with deep roots in ancient wisdom, holds the keys to this mysterious practice. It is not a matter of sinking into the shadows, but of choosing when to step into the light. To begin, envision your life as a novel, with chapters unfolding at a pace that draws the reader in. Share your story, but hold back enough to arouse curiosity. Imagine giving someone a map with hidden treasures marked on it, but no roads to them. This creates a path of discovery where each interaction reveals a layer, showing more depth and texture in who you are. In the art of selective sharing, we create space for others to lean in, reflect, and appreciate the evolving story of our lives. Stoicism teaches us the power of our inner compass in words whispered through time. We find guidance in phrases such as, "He who lords it over himself and controls his passions, desires, and fears is greater than a king." Here it is not about building walls around your essence, but rather choosing the doors through which you allow others to enter. By regulating the flow of your personal revelations, you create an environment where your presence becomes a rare and valuable commodity. It is a dance between the known and the unknown, where every step is a conscious choice, not a careless stumble. Keep in mind, mystery is not a tool for manipulation, but a strategy for self-esteem. It's about recognizing your value and not squandering it like water in the hands of those who may not appreciate its depth. In a world that constantly cries out for transparency and overexposure, choosing what to reveal is a testament to your understanding of self-worth. Not only does this approach make others appreciate you more, but it also leads you to higher self-esteem. After all, the deepest secret you can keep is how much more there is in you beyond what is visible to the naked eye. Imagine yourself standing at a crossroads. One path leads to solitary self-sufficiency, the other to mutual growth. By the way, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you like Stoicism, we have a lot of wisdom to share. That's where the fourth practice of our Stoic journey to become more valuable comes in, allowing others to invest in you. This fine art is rooted not in self-importance but in the mutual enrichment of lives. Seneca, with his timeless wisdom, alluded to this, finding joy in being chosen for enriching tasks. By opening yourself to the help and counsel of others, you are not demonstrating weakness, you are inviting shared strength. This practice is about building bridges, not building walls. Now let's go deeper. It's more than just accepting help. It's about cultivating a space where others feel their contributions are valued and appreciated. Think of it like a garden. You are the gardener, but you are inviting others to plant their seeds of wisdom, support, and kindness. Each seed they plant helps your garden bloom, and in return they experience the joy and satisfaction of leading the blossoming of their investment. This mutual growth fosters deeper connection and respect. It's about creating a cycle of giving and receiving that benefits everyone involved. Your openness becomes a magnet that attracts people who value genuine connection and mutual growth. We anchor this practice in the reality of our daily lives. It's in simple moments, accepting a colleague's help on a project, acknowledging a friend's advice, or simply being open to different perspectives. Each act of openness is a step towards a more connected and valued existence. You are not just a lone figure floating through life. You are part of a broad pattern woven from the threads of shared experiences and mutual support. As a modern Stoic, embrace this interdependence with grace and gratitude and watch the world open its arms to you in return. Remember, in the words of Marcus Aurelius, what is good for the hive is good for the bee. Your growth and their investment are not only interconnected, they are the very essence of a valuable and meaningful life. Now let's move on to the fifth point on our journey to becoming more valuable and prioritized by others, which is to prioritize our own needs. First of all, prioritizing your needs is not selfishness, it is a necessity. Imagine being on an airplane and being told that if your oxygen masks fall off, you need to put yours on first before helping others, right? This isn't just for air travel, it's a life principle. Stoicism, a philosophy that is as practical today as it was in antiquity, reflects this sentiment. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not he who is poor who has little, but he who desires more." This is not about hoarding resources, but recognizing that meeting one's own basic needs is the first step to becoming a source of strength for others. By prioritizing your needs, you are not turning your back on others, but building a store of strength and personal stability. Visualize your life as a garden. If you don't water and care for your plants first, how can you expect to share their beauty and shade with others? Your needs, whether for rest, personal growth, or emotional nourishment, are water and sunlight for your garden. By taking care of yourself, you ensure that you have the energy, patience, and resources to be present and support the people around you. It's not about isolation. It's about creating a balance where your well-being is not constantly being sacrificed. Acting on your priorities requires more than just recognition. It requires action, as Marcus Aurelius would advise, another wise Stoic. Don't waste more time debating what a good person should be. Be them. This means making tough decisions, setting boundaries, and sometimes saying no. It's not the easiest path, but it's the path that leads to true respect and self-esteem. By acting consistently in a way that aligns with your needs and values, you become a pillar of authenticity and integrity. People naturally gravitate towards those who are rooted and confident. So start today. Those who are rooted and confident. So start today. Prioritize your needs and watch the world begin to appreciate you in new and profound ways. The final point is a piece of advice that may surprise you. Stop starting all conversations. Shifting your focus from talking to listening may be just the change you've been looking for. This practice, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, encourages not starting every conversation. Imagine the power of silence and the art of listening. It is not simply about remaining silent, but about giving others the space to express themselves. This change can transform how you connect with others and how you are perceived. Stoic wisdom, such as Epictetus, emphasizes the balance between our ears and our mouth. He subtly implied, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. It's not just an old saying, it's a powerful reminder in our over-communicated world. By not always being the first to speak, you create space for others. This space allows you to absorb, understand, and reflect, not just react. It's about embracing the power in silence and the wisdom in listening. Now, think about the last time someone really listened to you. How did it make you feel? Valued, understood, perhaps even important. This is the gift you give to others by allowing them to start a conversation. It's a subtle but profound way to show respect and interest in what they have to say. By doing this, you are not only listening to the words, you are acknowledging their thoughts and feelings and building deeper and more meaningful connections. In today's accelerated world where everyone is eager to speak, being the one who listens sets you apart. It shows maturity, patience, and a genuine interest in others' qualities that are rare and valuable. This doesn't mean you never express yourself, but it's a matter of choosing the right moments. When you speak up, your words will carry more weight because they come from a place of understanding and mindfulness. To practice this, start observing your interactions. Notice the urge to intervene and resist it. Instead, focus on what the other person is saying. Ask questions, show interest, and let the conversation flow naturally. It's not about being passive, it's about being present consciously. Over time, this practice will not only improve your relationships, but will enrich your own understanding of people and the world around you. Remember, in moments of silence, wisdom often speaks louder. Today we explored 6 transformative practices rooted in Stoicism, each of which is a stepping stone to becoming more valued and respected. Embrace these practices by being fearless but reflective, patient but proactive, selectively available, intriguingly mysterious, and open to the input of others. Prioritize your well-being and independence, and allow others to come to you. It's not about seeking approval, it's about finding a harmonious balance in your life. These are not just tips, they are tools for living. They shape not only how others see you, but how you see yourself as strong, respected, valued. So take these lessons, Integrate them into your daily life and watch the transformation unfold. Not only do you improve your relationships, you grow as a person, and remember that this is just the beginning. There is a world of wisdom in Stoicism waiting for you to discover it and make it your own. I appreciate you watching this video and hope you find these tips very valuable. Until next time. Today we're diving into the art of changing the perception of denial, inspired by none other than the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. Imagine living in a world where every rejection doesn't push you down, but propels you forward. Denial is a word that often brings dissatisfaction, but it can be your stepping stone to greatness. It's not about cheating fate here. It's about realizing that sometimes a rejection from the universe is a hidden yes to something greater. So if you feel unappreciated or ignored, it's time to change the script. In this video, we'll reveal powerful lessons that teach you how to harness the power of rejection. We're not just talking theory. These are practical, real-world strategies that you can apply to your daily life. So, let's begin this transformational journey together. Are you ready to turn your rejections into your ignore them too when life gives you the cold shoulder of indifference? Don't back down. Rise above it. Ignoring those who ignore you is not a small thing. It's a powerful statement about your self-esteem. Imagine someone decides you're not worth their time. It's their loss, not yours. By not entering into the commons, you are saying, I am. No, so how do you do that without wallowing in bitterness? Just focus on your life, your goals, your happiness. Immerse yourself in activities that enrich you, whether it's reading, sports, learning a new skill, or simply enjoying the company of those who appreciate you. This isn't about getting back at someone. It's about getting your ego back and investing. We are ignored, but instead of lingering on that pain, use it as a catalyst for growth. Build a fortress of self-worth and let their indifference bounce off of it. You don't just survive their rejection, you thrive in spite of it. This approach not only demonstrates emotional maturity, it's a testament to your inner strength. Remember, your value is not. Have confidence in yourself, even when someone fails to see your value. Allow your actions to speak louder than their silence. Don't react emotionally. Rejection can sting, causing you to react and allowing your emotions to lash out uncontrollably. But when someone rejects you, the temptation to vent frustration or sadness is great. Stoicism, a philosophy as relevant today as it was in ancient Greece, offers a different path. It suggests giving a calm, considered response. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about letting them not control you. When you are being ignored, instead of getting upset, pause. Ask yourself why this bothers me. Often it's not the rejection per se, but our own insecurities that affect us the most. This is where we need to be practical. You are being ignored. Take a breath. Consider why this moment doesn't define you. It's just a moment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our actions and responses, not the behavior of others. So stay polite, stay kind. This approach isn't about passivity. It's about dominating your emotions. It's about recognizing that your self-worth is not dependent on the approval of others. Your power lies in how you respond, not in what happens to you. This is transformation. When you master calmness in the face of rejection, you don't just handle a difficult situation, you grow. You learn that your inner calm is not dependent on external approval. This is the path to self-confidence, where you learn to value yourself. You manifest. Take the time to see rejection as a challenge, not the end of the road. See it as a pointer to new paths and opportunities. Explore activities that will enrich your spirit and broaden your horizons. Immerse yourself in thought-provoking books and take up a sport that will push your boundaries. These are not only distractions, They are steps towards self-discovery and personal growth. Each new experience carves out some of your potential, making you more resilient and adaptable. Also create an environment where you are supported and inspired. Remember that our thoughts shape our reality. When you create a positive environment, you open doors to growth and new opportunities. Failure can be a powerful stimulus for innovation and creativity, but its power depends on how you perceive it. Lift your gaze. The moment rejection closes one door, another may open. Use them as fuel. Rejections can be a powerful source of motivation if you know how to use them. Success stories are often sprinkled with hardships and rejections. Think about how J.K. Rowling endured dozens of rejections before her Harry Potter works were accepted for publication. Each rejection was a stepping stone that brought you closer to success. Rejection is a challenge. It's your opportunity to say, yes, I've faced challenges, but that won't stop me. Use this as fuel for your determination. Rejections are part of your journey. They remind us of our vulnerability and imperfection from time to time, but they are also a reminder that we are learning, growing, and moving forward. Every rejection is a lesson. Use it to see what you can improve, what skills you can develop to become better. Look at them through the eyes of gratitude. Sometimes rejection is the best thing that can happen. We don't always see the full picture at the moment of rejection, but we realize later that it was just a twist to something better. Think about the job you weren't hired for, the project that rejected you, the opportunity that slipped away that it opened new doors for you, gave you other opportunities, or led you down a better path. Gratitude for rejections is recognizing that they were necessary steps on your path. Develop your resilience. Just as an athlete trains to improve endurance, failures train your resilience. Practicing recovering from setbacks and using them as opportunities makes you more resilient. Failures can be your mentors in the world of personal development. Sometimes they can be your best mentors in the world of personal development. Sometimes they can be your best learning material. Keep yourself motivated. Rejections can derail your motivation, but they can also be used to keep the fire burning within you. Remember your goals and strive for them. Rejections remind you of what goals are really important to you. They provide an opportunity to reprioritize and become even more committed to your goal. Maintain optimism. Don't let rejections overshadow your optimism. They do not determine your ultimate destiny. Maintain a positive outlook, even when things seem difficult right now. Use them to analyze. After rejection, analyze the situation. Figure out what could have gone wrong and what you can learn from the experience for your own growth. Change your attitude toward rejections. Accept them as an integral part of life. The more you get used to rejections, the easier it is to accept them as part of your path to success. Set new challenges for yourself. Rejections can be a signal that you are ready for new, tougher challenges. Raise the bar and move on. Grow through rejections. Use them to become even stronger. Don't slow down or give up on your goals because of them. Ultimately, rejections are temporary obstacles that can make you stronger if you know how to use them correctly. Instead of seeing them as the end of the road, look at them as an opportunity for a new beginning. There may be amazing opportunities waiting for you, hidden behind the moments of rejection. Rise above them and use them to your advantage. Walk the path of wisdom.